welcome to episode 27 of Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. We are in our late 20s now. Time flies when you're recording podcasts. So thank you for listening. Welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist. The struggle goes on. Today I have a blog that I wrote a while ago. Well, actually maybe not quite as far in the past as I usually end up putting these up. There's been a lot going on in the world lately in the last few months. So this is I think from a few months ago, not like a year ago, which is sometimes what happens in this scenario. It's pre-election, or I wrote it pre-election, and then I edited it post-election. It's like two different worlds coming together in a blog post. It's not really about the election, and yet, of course, it's all wrapped up in all current events and whatnot as well. So I will be reading to you a universal sign for That's Racist. That's what it's called. And, I was just thinking about how, some people have wondered why I read to you rather than just talk at you. And I think it's due to introversion. Fundamentally, I'm not much of a talker. I think best when I'm writing. So I can give you a more coherent thought in the written word than I can in this kind of rambly state, which is of course good too. Or I don't know if it's of course good, but chatting is also delightful. But maybe not by oneself for me. Anyway, here is a universal sign for That's Racist. A universal symbol for That's Racist. The couple got on the N train and asked, in their best English, if the train was going to St. Paul. I asked them if they meant Central Park, and if so, yes, it was going there, and they settled in. They were from Brazil and delighted that I could understand their English sometimes, and occasionally bits of their Portuguese. We had a companionable ride, misunderstanding one another at every turn. Example, how long are you here? We've been married 25 years. They told me I was very nice and friendly, I think this is what they were saying, and that they were happy to meet me. I told them I was also happy to meet them. They told me their names, and I told them mine. I was pretty pleased to have made a nice connection with some strangers from far away. Then the man made a gesture that I decided couldn't possibly be what I thought it was because it was so racist. Then he did it again, bigger and clearer, and I heard chines, and I realized he was, in fact, making an incredibly racist gesture. I said, no, which he somehow interpreted as a license to keep going, and so followed a series of gestures and sentences I couldn't understand, but I presume added up to an unfavorable rant about Chinese people. I was horrified. And given the language barriers, I could not figure out what to do. I wish there were a gesture for, that's racist. It would come in handy, not just when there's a language barrier like this, but in situations where it's just not a good time to have a full discussion. Just a simple hand or finger wave of some kind. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have a universal symbol for that's sexist, too. It's amazing how much racism and sexism can be expressed without language. I would love for a way to express the opposite some way as well. And unfortunately, given the current climate, we will likely have many, many opportunities to use a gesture that expresses that something is racist or sexist. With hate crimes on the rise, it's ever more essential to address this stuff when it comes up in the moment. It occurred to me that so many people were okay with voting for racist candidates because they didn't fundamentally understand what racism is. They missed the multitude of racist statements because they didn't recognize them as the racism they were. If we could call it out with a gesture, we could register our response and keep moving. We could express ourselves en masse when our new elected officials denigrate their target of choice. I don't know how gestures become popularized, but now is the moment for us to get one. And there we have it. That is the universal symbol, not sign, apparently. Sometimes I don't remember the names of my things until I look at them myself. Anyway, it's a universal symbol for that's racist. There's been no real proposals for this symbol. I've gotten some middle fingers, which, that's just not clear. Like, middle fingers can be anything, right? But we need something that's like crystal clear. I even looked up like American Sign Language and British Sign Language and all kinds of sign languages. It's actually complex to say that's racist in sign language as well. So I think we need something as simple as a wave. That's just like a no. It's necessary, unfortunately. So the song here for you at the end of this blog about racism is a song by Michelle Schacht. In the last week or so, I've just found I need her. She just kind of I stopped listening to Michelle Schacht a while ago. She was important to my youth, but now with the world as it is, I just was like, yep, nope, got to pull her out of the mothballs. And I remembered that there was some dumb thing she said a few years ago that made her fall out of favor, which I was like, okay, I'm just not going to deal with that right now. I need her. I need her music. I don't need, year 2000s Michelle Schacht. I need 1988 Michelle Schacht. So that's who I pulled out. Anyway, I recorded for you my singing of Michelle Schacht's kind of big hit. I guess was her only hit, first hit. I can't remember what happened in her career. But anyway, this is a song that I have always loved, and this is a necessary song for the hour. So newly recorded on my brand new microphone, just me and guitar. You're gonna hear now my recording of Anchorage by Michelle Schacht, and there is a blog forthcoming about Michelle Schacht, actually, because it's given me a whole thing to think about, but that's way in the future. So meanwhile, enjoy Anchorage. I took time out to write to my old friend. I walked across that burning bridge. I mailed my letter off to Dallas, but her reply came from Anchorage, Alaska. She said, "Hey girl, it's about time you wrote. It's been over 2 years, my old friend. Take me back to the days of the foreign telegrams and the all-night rock and rollin'. Hey Shell, we were wild then." Hey Shell, it's kind of funny. Texas always seems so big, but you're in the largest state in the union when you're anchored down in Anchorage. Oh, Anchorage. Hey girl, I think the last time I saw you was on me and Leroy's wedding day. What was the name of that love song you played? I forgot how it goes. I don't recall how it goes. Leroy got a better job, so we moved. Kevin lost a tooth, now he started school. I got a brand new 8-month-old baby girl. Hey Shell, I sound like a housewife. Hey Shell, I think I'm a housewife. What's it like to be in New York? New York City, imagine that. What's it like to be a skateboard punk rocker? Leroy says send a picture. Leroy says hello. Leroy says I'll keep on a rocking, girl. Yeah, keep on a rocking. Hey Shell, it's kind of funny. Texas always seems so big, but you know you're in the largest state in the union when you're anchored down in Anchorage. Oh, Anchorage. Anchored down in Anchorage. Anchored down.